The devil's greatest trick was never a scream in the night. It was a whisper that felt like harmony, a rhythm that felt safe, a melody that drew people in without resistance. When I say the devil wrote this song, I am not speaking only of music. I speak of patterns, teachings, words repeated so often they slip past the guard of awareness. A song is anything you let enter your mind and echo in your heart. And sometimes it is not holy at all. Think about this. If a poisonous seed is hidden inside a beautiful fruit, who notices until it's too late? Many communities sing, pray, and follow without asking, whose rhythm am I moving to? Who composed this melody of thought? If something unclean can wear the robe of devotion, how many will unknowingly carry it inside themselves? In Shaolin, we do not accept blindly. We look inward first. I am Shi Heng Yi, and I will tell you self-knowledge is the only shield. Discipline is the gatekeeper. Awareness is the sword. Without them, even the most faithful can be led away by a song that sounds divine but feeds the ego, not the spirit. In this video, you will learn how hidden influences shape you without your permission, how virtue and discipline can protect your spirit, and how to recognize when something that looks holy is actually leading you astray. These are not common lessons. They are truths carried quietly through Shaolin teaching, refined for centuries, meant to cut through illusion. Stay with me until the end, because clarity begins where comfort ends. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. If you seek strength beyond appearances, subscribe and walk this path with us. A person can wander the earth for a lifetime and still remain a stranger to himself. That is the first danger. You may know scripture, chant prayers, sing hymns, yet never meet the one who repeats them. The Shaolin path begins with this question: before I speak the words of others, do I hear the voice within? When I was young, my master told me, if you borrow another man's eyes, you will never see your own path. At the time, I thought he spoke of arrogance, but years later I understood he was warning me of imitation without understanding. Many people wrap themselves in belief systems like they are robes, yet the heart beneath is still naked, still unguarded. They know the rituals, but not the roots. Religion, community, even culture can offer guidance, but they can also become songs sung without awareness. And a song sung without awareness becomes noise. You echo the words, but you do not live them. You follow rhythms that were given to you, not rhythms discovered by your own spirit. This is why self-knowledge is not an option. It is a necessity. To look inward is to sit with discomfort. It is to see fear, anger, desire, and to admit they live inside you. Only then can you test whether the doctrine you follow feeds your clarity or hides your shadow. If you accept every teaching without testing it against your experience, you risk building a temple of sand, grand on the outside, hollow within. Shaolin teaches that your mind is the first scripture, your breath the first prayer, your awareness the first song. If you do not know these, every other teaching becomes borrowed light, and borrowed light always fades. There is great power hidden in repetition. A word spoken often enough becomes truth to the one who hears it. A song sung with conviction can stir joy, grief, even anger, without the singer ever asking why. This is how rituals, language, and the division of us versus them shape entire generations. They move like currents beneath the surface, carrying minds in directions they never chose for themselves. In ancient teachings, this was seen not as magic but as conditioning. The mind, left unguarded, absorbs everything around it. The chants of a crowd, the slogans of a nation, the hymns of a congregation, all these become internal rhythms. Slowly, they create identity. Slowly, they whisper who belongs and who does not. The danger is not always obvious. Influence rarely comes with warning. It comes in the form of comfort, tradition, habit. The devil does not always roar. Sometimes he is only the belief you never question, the ritual you never test, the identity you cling to without balance. When that happens, you are no longer living with awareness, you are being lived by patterns that were planted in you. Mindfulness breaks this trance. To observe your emotional state is to ask, why do I feel lifted when this song plays, or angered when those words are spoken? Who placed these triggers in me? Through practice, you learn to pause. You notice not only the noise around you but the echo it leaves within. Inner mastery means becoming the gatekeeper of your own mind. Discipline means refusing to let every chant, every ritual, every division take root in you without examination. Ancient wisdom reminds us, freedom does not come from rejecting all influence, but from seeing clearly which influences serve your highest self, and which slowly lead you away. In the Shaolin way, virtue is not decoration. It is not meant to impress others or to polish an image. Virtue is the armor of the spirit, woven not from steel but from choices repeated daily. Self-control, discipline, benevolence, respect, loyalty, these are not lofty ideals. They are living forces that protect the heart from being pulled into chaos. Think of self-control. Without it, every desire becomes a chain. The moment a teaching or song promises pleasure, you will chase it without asking if it is true. Discipline works the same way. A disciplined mind does not run after every shiny thought. It stays steady like a mountain unmoved by passing clouds. Benevolence and respect are not weakness. They are strength turned outward. To live with respect means you cannot be easily manipulated by hatred. To live with benevolence means you cannot be captured by cruelty disguised as justice. These virtues anchor you so that when a new doctrine, trend, or belief enters, you do not simply bow to it. You measure it against the integrity you have built within yourself. Loyalty too has its place. Not blind loyalty to systems, but loyalty to truth, to values that withstand storms. A person who has not cultivated virtue is like a leaf blown by the wind. Every song that feels good carries them away. But the one who has trained in virtue becomes like a rooted tree. Songs may play, beliefs may shift, yet they do not fall, because their foundation lies deeper than appearance. This is why the ancient masters placed virtue at the center. Without it, strength is hollow, and wisdom can be twisted. With it, you walk in clarity, and no false teaching can easily sway your path. A monk once said, "If you cannot command your morning, you will not command your life." This is why the Shaolin path begins with daily practice, not with grand speeches or rare ceremonies, but with simple repeated acts, rising early, breathing deeply, standing firm, moving with awareness. These routines are not just for the body, they are for the spirit. Each repetition teaches the mind that order is stronger than chaos. Standing exercises may look ordinary to the outsider. A body still, rooted like a tree, breath flowing steady. But within that stillness, storms are mastered. Muscles burn, the mind wants to wander, yet the practitioner stays. This quiet endurance is training for life itself. Because outside, voices will call, temptations will whisper, distractions will try to scatter your attention. If you cannot remain steady in your own stance, how will you remain steady in your decisions? True willpower is not the angry force of resistance. It is not gritting your teeth to push away every temptation. Willpower is the strength to hold your integrity when everything around you urges you to let go. It is the capacity to remain aligned with your values even when the easier path invites you. Through body-mind training, the lesson is carved deep. Integrity is not fragile. It can be stretched, tested, pressured, but if cultivated daily, it does not break. The routines may seem small, but they forge endurance. Each posture, each breath, each mindful movement is a reminder, I am not easily moved. In this way, practice becomes more than exercise. It becomes preparation for the unseen trials of life. And when the external world sings its many songs, discipline ensures you remain the one who decides which rhythm your heart will follow. Many think of mindfulness as closing the eyes, breathing slowly, and finding a moment of peace. But in the Shaolin tradition, mindfulness is not escape, it is vigilance. It is the art of staying awake to what is happening inside, moment by moment, without drifting into habit or forgetting. Every thought that rises, every emotion that stirs, every sudden shift in mood, these are signals. They are not random. They are the language of the inner world. When a word, a song, or a teaching reaches you, your body and mind respond instantly. Perhaps there is resistance, perhaps attraction, perhaps unease. Most people push these reactions aside, chasing comfort or distraction. But the mindful one pauses and asks, why did this strike me? What truth is it touching? Or what wound is it pressing? This awareness is not judgment. It does not label thoughts as good or bad. It observes them like clouds moving across the sky, knowing they reveal the weather of the soul. When you notice your reactions with clarity, you begin to see whether what you hear aligns with your deepest values or whether it only feeds desire, fear, or pride. Discipline deepens this awareness. It trains you not to be swept away by the first wave of emotion. Instead, you remain steady, breathing, listening inward. Ancient masters compared this to a warrior standing guard at the gates of a city. Without mindfulness, anything may slip inside. False teachings, hidden poisons, borrowed ideas. With mindfulness, the gate is watched, and only what serves truth is allowed entry. Thus, mindfulness becomes more than calmness. It becomes protection. It is the shield that keeps you from being led astray by what only sounds good, guiding you back again and again to what is real. There's a quiet danger in leaning too heavily on what lies outside of you. Many people anchor their peace in the approval of others, their identity in belonging to a group, their satisfaction in the changing tides of circumstance. As long as these remain steady, they feel whole. But when the current shifts, when faith is questioned, when community falters, when recognition fades, the ground beneath them breaks. What seemed like solid stone was only sand. The ancient masters warned against this kind of dependence. They taught that anything built upon what you cannot control is fragile. It may shine brightly for a season, but it cannot endure storms. To base your worth only on faith practiced in public or on traditions repeated in chorus is to build a temple whose pillars belong to others. The moment one pillar falls, the whole structure trembles. The shift begins by turning inward. Place the root of your well-being in what no one can take: your character, your awareness, your discipline. Character is shaped by the choices you make when no one is watching. Awareness is sharpened by noticing your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. Discipline is strengthened by the routines you keep, the promises you hold to yourself. These are treasures no community can grant and no critic can destroy. When you stand on these, faith becomes deeper, not weaker. Community becomes fellowship, not dependence. You no longer cling in fear but connect in strength. The storms may come, voices may challenge, traditions may change, yet your peace does not collapse because it was never borrowed. It was built. And what is built within you endures far longer than anything that can be given from outside. In the Shaolin tradition, the body is not a burden to escape, but a temple to train. Every movement, every posture, every breath is a lesson. The body becomes the ground on which spirit is tested. Muscles, bones, and breath are not separate from the mind. They are extensions of it. To neglect the body while seeking spiritual insight is like trying to build a roof without laying the foundation. Unbalanced spirituality often hides in grand words and lofty ideas. A person may speak of enlightenment, chant verses, or debate philosophy, yet lack the strength to endure discomfort, discipline, or silence. Their spirituality becomes fragile. The first challenge shakes them. The first temptation sways them. It is like carrying a lamp without oil, light for a moment, darkness soon after. The opposite imbalance is just as dangerous. A strong body without awareness becomes an instrument of pride. Muscles may be firm, reflexes sharp, but without discipline of mind, strength is easily used to dominate, to impress, or to chase desires. Such power is hollow, vulnerable to any song that praises vanity or aggression. Shaolin wisdom insists on the union of both. When body and mind are trained together, discipline flows naturally. The sweat of physical practice cleanses illusion. The focus of spiritual practice steadies the heart. Standing in stillness, the body trembles, yet the spirit learns patience. Moving in form, the body flows, yet the spirit learns harmony. This balance closes the gaps where hidden harm might enter. Ideas without embodiment cannot mislead you, and strength without awareness cannot corrupt you. Through body as teacher and spirit as guide, you walk in wholeness, and in wholeness, no false song can easily take root. The old texts speak of 5 shadows that follow every seeker: desire, ill will, sloth, restlessness, and doubt. These are not enemies outside, they live within. Each one has the power to cloud vision and bend the heart toward paths untested. Sensual desire pulls the mind outward, chasing pleasure wherever it appears. Ill will poisons the heart, turning judgment into truth. Sloth or dullness makes the spirit heavy, unwilling to rise or question. Restlessness scatters attention, leaving no space for clarity. And doubt, subtle, whispering doubt, weakens resolve, making borrowed songs feel safer than silent self-examination. These hindrances are why many follow teachings blindly. A song that feeds desire feels holy. A chant that justifies anger feels righteous. A ritual that lulls one into comfort feels divine. Yet none of these reflect truth. They only mirror the hindrance alive within. Shaolin practice offers a way to meet these shadows without fear. One method is simple yet profound. Reign, recognize, allow, investigate, non-identify. When desire rises, recognize it. Allow it to exist without denial or shame. Investigate. What is it asking of me? What pain is beneath it? And finally, do not identify with it. Desire is not who you are. It is a passing visitor. The same is true for anger, for dullness, for restlessness, for doubt. Each one can be met with awareness instead of blindness. In this way, the hindrances lose their grip. They become teachers, not masters. Discipline is what makes this possible. Without it, the shadows rule. With it, the mind steadies like water clearing after a storm. Then, when false songs play, you do not dance unconsciously. You listen, you discern, and you choose whether the rhythm belongs in your soul. Happiness is like sunlight on water, bright, warming, but always shifting with the clouds. Peace is different. Peace is the depth of the ocean, steady even when storms rage above. This is why the wise never confuse the two. To chase happiness is to run after shadows. To cultivate peace is to stand where no storm can uproot you. Many cling to comfort, mistaking it for peace. Comfort is soft, but it is also a cage. Safe beliefs, repeated traditions, unquestioned ideas, they soothe, but they also confine. When life is lived only within their walls, the spirit forgets how to grow. True clarity often asks for discomfort, to leave behind what feels safe, to confront illusions, to admit that not all we call sacred is truly so. There is pain in this. Growth always carries it. But mastery is forged in the willingness to endure that pain without running back to the comfort of illusions. A warrior of the mind does not choose the easy path. He chooses the clear one. He knows his values, even if they separate him from the crowd. He stands alone if needed, because integrity matters more than approval. The ancient masters said, "Better to walk a lonely road in truth than to sit in a crowded hall of falsehood." Clarity burns away the false joy of comfort, leaving behind the steady flame of peace. And peace, once cultivated, does not vanish when happiness fades. It endures through sorrow, through loss, through change. This is mastery, not the endless pursuit of feeling good, but the rooted strength to remain clear, to remain aligned, to remain at peace, even when the world shifts all around you. Awareness shows you the cracks in the wall, but awareness alone does not rebuild the house. To see problems clearly is important, but without direction, you remain standing in ruins. Purpose is the compass. It points you toward what you wish to create, not just what you wish to avoid. Without it, even wisdom becomes restless, circling endlessly without landing. A true purpose cannot be borrowed. If you take your vision from others, family, community, even tradition, you may walk far but never feel at home. A borrowed path always drifts because it is not rooted in your own truth. But when purpose rises from within, tested by reflection, shaped by discipline, aligned with values, it becomes unshakable. Storms may bend you, but they cannot break your direction. Vision is not about fantasy, it is about clarity. It is the steady image of what your life must serve, refined by honesty with yourself. This clarity protects against distortion. When external voices sing their tempting songs, songs of pride, of fear, of belonging at any cost, your purpose shields you. You no longer chase every melody because you already know the rhythm you must follow. Integrity makes this vision real. To act with integrity is to let your inner values and outer actions walk in step. No gap between belief and behavior. No split between what you honor in silence and what you display in public. In this alignment, strength is born. When you live with clear purpose and integrity, no external teaching can easily sway you. The songs may play, but you remain rooted. Your direction is chosen, your path steady, your life a living answer to the question of why you are here. The voices of the world will always sing. Some songs inspire, some distract, some deceive. The task is not to silence them, but to listen with awareness and choose what enters your heart. When you know yourself, when you cultivate virtue, when you practice discipline of body and mind, you are no longer at the mercy of every passing rhythm. You stand steady, guided by clarity, anchored in peace. Carry this into your daily life. Pause before repeating words that are not yours. Breathe before moving to the rhythm of others. Ask, does this align with my truth, or does it only echo my fear or desire? In these small acts of awareness, mastery begins. Walk gently, but walk firmly. Let your spirit, not borrowed songs, set your direction. Thank you for being here with us. If this teaching has spoken to you, support our journey by liking this video and subscribing to Shaolin Soulfire. Together, let us continue to walk the path of awareness, discipline, and peace.